Professor Ruby and Salon Sara, Lina. Today we'll be presenting our service learning project. My name is Samantha Graywall.
My name is Madeline Jane.
My name is Agnes Mazer.
And my name is Jalzin Sidhu.
So this is a brief agenda of what we'll be talking about today. We'll begin with the introduction, followed by the company profile, where we'll highlight the breakdown of the income statement and the strengths and weaknesses of the company. We'll move on to the problems and solutions, followed by recommendations and concluding remarks. Salon Sara Lina is a small salon in St. Catharines that prides itself on being up to date with the latest hair coloring trends. Due to various competitors and their hidden location, it's been hard for them to generate revenue. Over the past few weeks, we've been analyzing the financial statements and documents to come up with different solutions for some of the problems they are facing. Some issues we'll be talking about are proper costing methods and accuracy in the financial statements. We believe that our solutions and recommendations can help increase the company's bottom line, and now I'm going to pass it off to Samantha, who's going to talk about the company.
So this is just a brief overview of the company. Salon Sara Lina is a boutique style salon, and they opened in the year 2009, meaning they're almost 10 years old now. And they operate in downtown St. Catharines in an elegant 123-year-old building. So while they do have to give up a bit of location, their high ceilings and windows definitely add some charm, giving them an advantage. And they offer a calming, relaxed environment that's different from the hectic environment you find in a lot of salons. And they offer a wide variety of services and products, and some of the main ones we've identified are color, cutting, styling, extensions, weddings, where you can have the salon to yourself and your bridesmaids, and selling products. They only sell high quality products, including Wella and Kevin Murphy. And while they offer this wide range of products and services, their specialty is coloring, cutting, and styling.
So we began with a general analysis of the revenue, costs of goods sold, and expenses of the company for the years 2015 to 2016 and 2016 to 2017. We noticed that although from year to year the revenues increased, so did the expenses and the costs of goods sold, meaning that there was really no change in profit because the ratio between these three things remained the same. So the company had a net loss in both years.
So now I'll be talking about the strengths and weaknesses of the salon. The salon offers many different unique services. However, they specialize in coloring. This is very unique as it's not offered in other salons nearby the area, and it is in a very prestigious area, which is St. Catharines. So they come up with new trends as well, and they're really consistent with their clients as they have a strong client base. While Salon Sara Lina has many strengths, there are quite a few weaknesses as well. In today's technology, their website is quite outdated. It's very inconsistent and it's scattered all over the place. The website has minimal information, and it would be really helpful for future clients if they could find more information on the site.
So now we'll be talking about the various problems we identified and some solutions we came up with. So the first problem we identified was inaccuracy within the financial statement. So we noticed some numbers were missing or some accounts were in the wrong place. And we really need accurate data to make accurate suggestions. So if we're not working with correct numbers, our solutions obviously will not be very realistic. And we also saw some further issues that could stem from these inaccuracies, such as lack of internal control and difficulty determining prices. So some major discrepancies we identified were on the profit and loss comparison, styling products and coloring products were included in cost of goods sold. However, these are actually an expense since you're not giving them over to the client and just using them to complete your services. They should be recorded in the expenses section as a supplies expense. The second problem we identified was on the profit and loss comparison, EI expense, CPP expense, and employee benefits were all recorded separately from wages and salary expense. However, they are cost of paying employees, so it'd be easier just to group them together. And the way they're separated makes the expense seem a lot smaller than it is. So it is actually one of your biggest expense, and it'd be important to track it correctly. And thirdly, on the service profit analysis, no costs are being tracked. So the price and quantity columns are both filled in, but the cost column is blank. And since profit is what the company keeps of their revenue after costs are met, the totals they have for profit are inaccurate, and we're uncertain about where the profit total then on the profit and loss comparison was, and it's making it difficult for us to determine what accurate pricing should be. Finally, on the balance sheet comparison, the inventory account did not change every year, which suggested to us that perhaps inventory was not being tracked, and since it represents 36% of your total assets and 52% of your current assets, which we determined from the numbers you gave us. It means it is a significant cost for the company, and accurately tracking inventory is an essential part of pricing since we need to know how much of the product is being used and sold. And we identified a similar issue on the profit and loss comparison where some expenses were reported in 2015 but not in 2016. One of these was depreciation expense. So on to our solution. Our proposed solution to improve the accuracy of the financial statements is it's essential to keep track of the revenues earned, expenses incurred, and other financial activities as they occur throughout the year. So effort needs to be put in on a day-to-day basis to be organized and track these activities. So some ways you could do this are investing some money in accounting services or software. So if you have software, it'll be simple to track all your different activities. As well, if you require a financial statement, most softwares can provide it for you with a click of a button. And then having this information will also give you more data to work with, such as comparing various months to each other. And while implementing this solution will obviously be an investment and cost more in the short run and reduce your profit for maybe the next couple of years, the long-term knowledge and value you'll gain for this will improve your future profits and make the company more profitable in the end.
So now we'll be talking about problem number 2, which is about the company's failure to track their expenses, so their costs effectively. As we know, the hair salon has many different services which are very unique. There is currently no system in place to determine the resources that are used by the different services. As highlighted on the service profit analysis document that we received on Sakai, it is missing valuable information about costing and the pricing. Those columns are completely blank. They are charging different prices, but it's unclear where the numbers are coming. Some factors that may contribute to the cost of the services are as follow. We listed 5. So the first one is identifying the employee who completed the work, and as well as the quantity of products used and the cost of the products used, as well as determining how long it takes for the service to be completed. And lastly, how many other resources did the service incur, such as we could do this by doing the various overhead costs, for example, like the utilities as well as cleaning. The different services performed need to be organized based on the term. So the solution with this problem would be implementing the ABC system. This assigns manufacturing overhead costs of services based on the activities involved. In order to increase the profit, and the company needs to focus accurately on pricing their services. We are unable to do that with the data that was provided. However, the system requires significant research to implement the ABC, and it can be done by tracking the type, quantity of resources consumed by all of the services. Also, cost drivers will be identified if you do significant research, and it will be a greater cost in the short run, but however, in the long run, it would create potential profit.
So the solution we came up with is that the company needs to focus on either increasing the revenue or decreasing expenses. One solution we have to increase revenue is to implement something like a monthly blow dry club where customers can come in and have their hair blown out by some of the junior stylists in between their other clients for us a monthly flat fee. So this is one way that the company could increase their revenues and also have the junior stylists increase their customer bases. And then one way to decrease expenses would be to reduce the wages and salaries expense. And one way that you could do that is to switch from a salary-based payment to commission-based. And this way it removes any cost spent on times when there's no activity, but one of the downsides is that it could reduce employee morale. So we also have some other recommendations for the company that aren't strictly financial. The main thing we want to focus on is improving the company's online presence. We live in a digital age, so a lot of people use the internet and things like that to find information about services such as Salon, Sara, Lina's. So the first thing we want to do is improve the company's website. When we took a look at the website, we found that there were various inconsistencies and that a lot of the information was outdated. So what we want to do is fix those issues right away so that customers have relevant information about what the company can do for them. Another thing we want to consider is adding a gallery for each of the employees. This way, when you promote specific employees and their services, customers know what they're getting into and have some knowledge of the work that they've done before. And one other thing we want to do for the website is to either update the keep updating the blog or just get rid of it completely, because there hasn't been posts for a long time now, and if you're not going to keep up with it, just get rid of it. Something else we want to do is make the most of social media. So we saw that your Instagram account had over 1,000 followers and that you do post pretty regularly, which is great. So we want to be able to use these followers and the crowd you have on Instagram to help promote your company and spread your company to other people. So one thing you could do is have contests where you could say, like, tag a friend in the comments to be entered into a draw to win a gift card. This way, more people will be coming to your Instagram account and seeing more of your company and learning about the services, and those people could potentially be new clients. And the great thing about social media is that it's such a low cost marketing tool, and you're already really good at it, so you should just make your followers work for you and get them to spread your company around so you can increase your clients. And then the last thing we recommend is to increase your target market to include high school and university students. Being in St. Catharines, you have the benefit of having Brock University and Niagara College close by, so a lot of students could be coming to your salon. Since you specialize in coloring, that's something that a lot of younger people enjoy, trying out new colors and styles, so you could benefit from them being your customers.
Now we're just going to do some concluding remarks. So as we said before, Salon Sara Lina is a growing business and a great community, but there are a few problems that they face. The main three that we identified are inaccurate financial statements, failure to accurately track expenses and determine pricing, and a very high wages and salaries expense, which will hurt the bottom line. And to improve these problems, we suggested a few solutions: to implement accounting software and hire a professional accountant to help with that, because it can be very difficult for people who don't know what they're doing, and to implement, ideally, an ABC costing system to accurately determine the costs of your services, to lower or offset the wages and salaries expense, because as said before, that directly will affect profit, and to improve the company website and take full advantage of social media and improving and expanding your target clientele. After this analysis, it is our belief that if Salon Sara Lina can focus on their daily activities from a more financial perspective, then they can certainly be successful and eventually turn a profit in the long run.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and it's been a pleasure working with you this semester.